live button, so it's gonna be live at any second now. Oh shit! Look at that. We're motherfucking live, baby. All right, sweet. I should hit the intro.
That's why it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
Really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, welcome to this special episode of the DGen Roundtable's Whiskey Wednesday. Is there a new motherfucking big dog on top in the Ethereum world? We're going to be talking about some excellent shit tonight, and it's going to also be a special hat episode of the DGen Roundtable, which we haven't had for a
Well, I don't think that people can hear you.
Broski. What's up, dude? How are you doing?
I'm doing well, buddy. I'm excited for this hat episode. I'm wearing this little hat. It says Raglan Road. I got this on St. Patrick's Day a couple of years ago at Raglan Road in Orlando, one of the best places to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in all of Florida.
Hell yeah, dude. I fucking love to see it. For the folks at home who have never seen us before, hello, my name is Will Stevenson. This is my accomplice, my partner in crime, Mr. Brendan of the DGen Roundtable. We're a bunch of degenerates. I'm an iron worker that travels the states building TV and radio towers and things. And Mr. Brendan over here is a super cool, awesome salesman. And in our free time, we like to talk cryptocurrency. And Brendan's really good at like macroeconomics and the shit that goes up at like the higher level, the government stuff. I'm good at networking, talking to people in sales and stuff. But we're here to have a really good time and have a good fucking Whiskey Wednesday show and switch around our hats a whole bunch as we do this fucking show. I'm super fucking stoked, man, because it's been like a year since we've done a fancy hats a special episode, hasn't it? It's been quite a fucking while, dude. What's new and exciting with you? How are you doing?
It's good, man. I see that you are currently celebrating Christmas in July. I like it. Good look. Good look.
This is actually this is a Klein bottle hat. So
I take it back. It was behind. It looked like a Santa hat.
You know what a Klein bottle is, dude? This is a Klein bottle hat. So so my dad got this for me back when I was like really obsessed with like Mobius strips and Klein bottles and things. But it's a hat that the inside is also the outside. What you guys can't see is that this hat knits up into a tube, and then the tube goes up and inside of this hat and then curls up and becomes the outside. So like this is one of my favorite hats. Shout out to my father, Will Stevenson, number 2. I'm Will Stevenson, number 3. But this is one of my favorite hats for this fantastic occasion. What'd you say that yours was that you're wearing again?
This is one I got on St. Patrick's Day. It's from Raglan. Kind of hard to see. Raglan Road. So it's a really large. So in Disney Springs in Orlando, it's a huge Irish bar, and it's actually a legitimate Irish bar. They serve legitimate Irish food. I came back from Ireland in December in 2022. 2023, we spent in March. We go to Raglan Road for St. Patrick's Day, right? So I'm 3 months away from going to Ireland. And I get boxty, which is a very traditional Irish dish. It's like a potato dish, surprise. And it has like a meat with a sauce on top of it. It's like almost like a big hash brown with
Okay.
meat and sauce on it, and and then sometimes mashed potatoes underneath that as well. Absolutely phenomenal. It was like better than any of the box they had in Ireland. So like they're legit, and also every day they do Irish step dancing. They have live Irish music, so it's a legit Irish bar in Disney Springs, and they always have a blast for St. Patrick's Day. They always have multiple bands inside, outside. It's wild. Yeah, it's a great time. So I got this there, and I figured I'd start with that.
Excellent. I like it. How often should we switch hats just on our own randomly, or should we like make it a whole event out of it?
I mean, I don't know if we have the same amount of hats. I think the only time we should make an event out of it is when we do our mid-show hat and shot change.
Ooh, okay. I like this play. Excellent. All right, so we'll just be randomly swapping hats. I thought for sure that I had my World War II tanker hat with me, but it turns out I do not. I had left that over at my father's house, so I've got this Ushanka that looks close to a World War II tanker hat. So I'll be putting this. This is actually what Hexy Bastard wears. Is he wears a lot of Ushankas and stuff. So for those of you guys that don't know, these type of hats, these Elmer Fudd hats, they're called a Ushanka. It's from Russia. It's from Slavia. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Josh, who I know is in the chat. Actually, on the subject of chat shout outs, let's motherfucking do some goddamn chat shout outs, boy. Let's welcome the folks at home who have joined us here on this fantastical today. So we've got Mr. Kenturian 54X who has popped in. Let's see. Holy smokes. He put this comment up at 12:30 Central Time.
Time.
Yeah, dude. So he's coming in. This was almost 7 hours ago when Mr. Kenturian put it in. Is it too early to start drinking whiskey? My friend, it is never too early to start drinking. It's always drink o'clock. Shout out to you, broski. Shout out to everyone's favorite Farmer.
Cheers.
Farmer, Pilot, and Degen Dungeon Master. It's good to see
and
you,
Will,
Kenturian.
I do want to tell the people we do have some actually really good crypto topics to talk about tonight.
Yes,
at least in the first hour, and then people can join us after. So don't think that we're just here to have fun, which we are. We're also going to be able to share some really cool alpha with all y'all today.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. So this whole thing about Ethereum having a new big dog on top. That's going to be the juice and the sauce of the show. So I'm excited to get into it. So yeah, absolutely. I should get that StreamYard thing sent out to the folks at home so that way they can join us after we hit our first hour of showtime.
Yeah, send it out a little bit. Don't send it out this right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not sending out right now then. We'll keep it on the hush hush. But if any of you guys want to join up on us, basically all that you need is a camera and a microphone, so i.e. a smartphone, and then you just click on the link and it'll bring you into our StreamYard, and all you got to do is hit the accept buttons and we'll get you rocking and rolling. But it's good to see you, Mr. Kenturian 54X. Thank you for hopping on in, buddy. We are also joined by my good friend and amigo, Mr. Josh, Mr. Slide 180, who says post to you too. Good sir, Mr. Josh. I'm going to be coming in and seeing you here quite soon in the near future. I've got some wine bottles right up here that I need to come deliver and some stickers as well. So glad to see you're with us today, Mr. Josh. Shout out to all the boys over at Jiffy Lube. I fucking love each and every single one of you. And I especially love you, Mr. Slide 180 Josh. We're also joined by another real life friend of mine, Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics, who gives us the fucking rock on symbol, fucking rock on, or I love you, or whatever this means. Good to see you, Moonpilled Rational Optics. Hope that you're doing great out there wherever you are, and we'll follow it up with some of the little fire. He lets us know that we got a Wild Will and a Wild Bean in the house tonight. Yes, I've actually I was going to keep this a secret, but the secret's out now, so I'm not very good at keeping secrets. I've been drinking for the past 3 or so hours, so I'm probably about 7 or 8 drinks deep just over the last several hours. I just
What
got
are
off.
you drinking?
Well, right now I'm drinking garage beers. You guys can't see them because they're green, and so my green screen thing makes them disappear. But I've got my garage beers. But then also for a very special portion of this show, we're gonna be having some tequila. So I've got some Jacinto some Soledad Jacinto that I'm gonna be drinking as well. So it's gonna be a good time. What are you drinking, Mr. Bean? What's
that's a fantastic question. Yeah, you got like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm starting off. So I made pasta for dinner tonight, a little spaghetti meatballs for the wife and I. So I had one beer, it's my first beer. Haven't finished that yet. And then it's a little warm, so I'm gonna have a nice cold pineapple lemonade Truly. At some point, I'm also gonna do a little gin tasting for the group. This is a gin from Norway.
Oh,
For those who don't know it,
what's that
who
called?
don't
Herrheim?
know, it is called Hatterhorn.
Hatterhorn. Okay, Hatterhorn.
For those of
Shout out
you
to-
who don't know it, I actually am a pretty big gin fan. So I keep maybe let me turn down the brightness on this.
Yeah.
I keep like a pretty big gin. There you go, gin diary,
That's
and you
cool.
can see that I like. I give like my little smell notes and my little tasting notes, and I'm not an expert. This could all be wrong, but you know, the cool thing about drinks is whatever you taste is what it tastes like to you. So these are, and then I give a little rating. So this first gin 7.8. I think my highest gin I've ever given is like 8.5, but
Okay.
look at how many I have here. It's
So
like,
you've never found a 10.
bro, if you find a 10 and then you find a better one, how do you score it?
What would be a 10? What's the best one so
Look at how
far?
many I have here.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Wow, dude. Holy shit. I knew you
Well,
liked gin. I had no idea that you kept a diary and like all the facts about it, bro. That's awesome.
so my favorite gin, and I actually just had it recently. And it's actually my last entry into this little Rolodex here. It's called Dorothy Parker Gin. It's from Brooklyn.
Okay.
It's from Brooklyn Distilling Company, I believe is the distilling company, and it is excellent. It's an 8.5, and I have a couple others that are on that level as well. Seventh Heaven from Montreal, I have an 8.4, and I don't know where it is in this thing, but also Martin Miller's Westbourne from England. I think that's an 8.3, 8.4 as well. So,
Okay.
yeah, man, I could go all night, but I am going to do a little live tasting and smelling of this Harrowhorn. So I'm very excited about that.
Man, I remember when I was setting up my dry bar in my house in New Hampshire, I think that I hit you up for a gin recommendation, or maybe I hit up Sam. It was one of the two you guys, or possibly even both. But I remember like I don't have like a sink or anything for setting up like a bar specific area, and so it's just essentially like a little table shelf. And I was like, man, Brendan knows a lot about drinks. And I think I got some whatever the London one is, or no, I got Sapphire. That's the
Bombay
one.
Sapphire.
Yeah, Bombay
Good
Sapphire.
classic
Yeah.
for a bar.
hmm But yeah, bro, fucking kick ass. But yeah, we got some wild folks in the house. Shout out to Mr. Moonfield, Rashville Optics. We're gonna be drinking some gin, some tequila, some Trulies, some garage beers, and is there anything else you got? Ooh, what's
I
that?
got a
Tito's?
Tito's,
Hell
and I
yeah!
got a little bit of tequila.
Oh my God,
So
we're
I got a
getting
whole bunch of
sauce
random
tonight.
things.
It's gonna be a good time. Folks at home in the chats, let us know what you guys are drinking as well. We would love to know what kind of beers you're sipping on, what kind of alcohols, what kind of wines, what kind of waters, anything. If you happen to have put a drink to your mouth today, you tell us what you're drinking, and we'll make sure to shout you guys out and make sure that we get all the appropriate drinks shouted out. And shout out to Brondo because they've got what plants crave. They've got electrolytes, and we love to see the stuff that plants crave. We're also joined by Mr. Hexagon Lost in Asia, who says, "What's up, DGens? Seen you DGens plenty before. All good." I'm going to presume he meant all good instead of act good, but yeah. What's up? And then he also goes on to say that, Brendan, you fucking killed it in the Pulse conference or the PulseX conference,
Thank you,
whatever it was.
brother.
Dude, yeah. Fucking excellent work, Mr. Brendan. I have
You know
not
what?
had a chance to catch up to your part of the thing. I've been on Replay Gang, plus also like skipping around in book club, but I'm super stoked to catch the part of the Pulse Chain or the PulseX conference that you did. How did you feel doing it?
So I did two parts. So on day one, I actually did my ever first debate panel. So I was actually did my ever first debate, and
Okay.
I got put on my side. I was Hex on the Pulse Chain side, and I was arguing for why Hex on Pulse Chain is currently better than Hex on Ethereum, and why I think it'll do better this cycle from now moving forward. I'm not judging from the lows or anything like that, but so that was what I did on Monday, which was cool. I'd never done that before, and there was like 6 of us on, and there were 3 topics, and it was like people battling each other. It was kind of cool. I wish we had a little bit more time because we really got to really dig into it, but it was good. And then on day 2, I had a talk about why PulseX is better than Uniswap, and maybe I'll just do a quick 2-second rehash of the three top reasons why I think PulseX is superior to Uniswap currently.
Oh, I did catch that one. I did catch the PulseX being better than Uniswap.
Man, I wasn't super. So I was a little disappointed because normally I'm very prepared and I'm ready to go. I had my time wrong. I thought it was 1:30, so I signed on at like 1:10 to start pulling up all my things that I wanted to show and everything. And then he shoots me a DM on X at like 1:13. He's like, "All right, you got 2 minutes. Here's a link." I'm like, "What? I'm 1:15, not 1:30." So I was flying by the seat of my pants a little bit, and so I definitely didn't feel like that one went as well. But I think what I was saying was good. Like, obviously, I was happy about what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But I just wish I was a little bit more prepared.
And that was on day 2, right?
Yeah, day 2,
Okay.
1:15 p.m.
I did watch the entire day 2 because that was the day I was able to get on the SciVive panel for that day. So I was quite pleased with that as well. I remember not thinking anything negative about your section then. There wasn't anything bad that happened the entire day. So you must have been pretty good with your points, because I was absentmindedly listening to the whole conference as I was doing some cleaning and things. So you must have done good, broski. I freaking love it. So
Thanks, everyone.
excellent. But yeah, we did the PulseX conference, and Bean did especially good according to Hexing and Lost in Asia. So shout out to Hexing and Lost in Asia. Good to see a fellow veteran out there doing some great stuff. We're followed up by Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics. It also feels like it's been a year since Ethereum was over 32,000%. I think he means dollars there. That makes sense. Not 32,000, $3,200. So yeah, it's been a long time since ETH has hit these numbers. So it feels good, man. Feels fucking good. We're also joined by Miss Amber Simon, who says hello from the lake. Miss Amber Simon is drinking Mountain Valley sparkling water, or spring water, and also lake water. So be careful about that lake water. Make sure that you boil it first, get all those Giardia chemicals out. And then we're also updated by Mr. Slide 180. He is drinking some St. Arnold Banger IPA 8.4 alcohol percent volume. Holy smokesiolies. That's a lot of percentage points there. So good to see you. I know that my friend Josh, he likes the IPAs, and like whenever I go hang out with him, I'll drink some from time to time. They're not my particular favorite, but you know what? I don't really have a favorite. I just like to drink. I like to drink beers when they're in front of me. So shout out to Josh drinking his St. Arnold Bangers, and Miss Amber Simon with her Valley spring water. I saw that you poured yourself a drink there just a second ago, Mr. Brendan. We're done with the chat shout outs. Was that the harbinger?
Getting ready for gin tasting.
Okay. I'm curious to see what goes on in a gin tasting. So you're giving it a good smell. I see you smelled it. Looks like twice there. Is it? What's the process for a good gin tasting?
Well, are we done with the chat shoutouts?
Yes, I should have updated you. Yes, we are all finished with the chat shoutouts. We're all caught up with everyone in the chats. Make sure you guys fucking like, subscribe, do all the fucking random stuff that you guys do. But yeah, let us know what you're drinking. But that's it for the chat shoutouts for now, Mr. Brendan.
All right, then I guess I can talk a little bit about it. So
yeah,
look, I am no way an expert by any means. I just am a fan. That's about it. So the reason I started drinking gin when I was about 23, 24 years old, I mostly drank beer and, whiskey or whatever other people drank, shots. And then I found out I had celiac disease and I didn't know what I could drink. I knew I couldn't drink beer anymore, but I was like, okay, well, what doesn't have gluten in it? And back then,
quick, what is celiac?
Celiac is gluten, is an autoimmune deficiency that doesn't allow you to digest or eat gluten.
Okay, so your body like attacks you when you eat gluten.
Yes, actually, it does. It attacks your immune system and your organs.
Tullamore do.
So so the longer you eat gluten without knowing it, when you have celiac disease, it actually lowers your life expectancy. So it's not great. But nonetheless, so back in my day, before there were internets or Googles or things like that, to get an answer, there was this thing where you could text a specific like company or fake company. I don't even know.
411?
No, it was KGB.
KGB.
Like the Russian KGB.
Like the Russians?
Well, I doubt they're Russian. They're probably in India or something. For all I know,
ask Jeeves or whatever.
It was like the original of that, but you sent a text and you said, "Hey." And so my question was, "What liquor is gluten free?" And their response was gin. And so I don't know if I was like, okay, I guess gin's the only thing I could drink for the rest of my life, or I actually really liked it. But I've very much grown accustomed to enjoying a glass of gin. So what I normally do is I just, try to get it in there, try to get a smell. Gins can have very different flavors, very different smells. Most people think of London dry gins, which are really junipery and kind of alcohol-y flavored.
I was
But a
gonna say
lot of
like the
gins
pine
these
berry,
days,
right?
what's that?
The pine berry, juniper, right?
Juniper berry, correct? Yeah. So when I smell this one, I try to get my nose in pretty deep. I try to smell through my nose, and then there's a second way that you can actually smell liquor. It's actually really important when you taste whiskeys, but I do it for gin as well. Instead of breathing through your nose, open your mouth wide and put your nose in the cup and breathe in through your mouth.
Oh,
It actually opens up the aroma of all of the flavors within the liquor. So, for example, gin has a lot of different botanicals and citruses. So if you breathe in through your mouth versus through your nose, you actually get a much wider variety of those smells. And it's the same thing with whiskey. So if you really want to smell all of the peats and all the different things in whiskey, I don't know how well it's going to be with tequila because, that's just kind of agave. There's not a lot of other things in there, but
well, I'm gonna practice this. So what do you open your mouth, you breathe in through your mouth, and
breathe
you
in through
just
your
let
mouth, but you'll smell it through your nose. You actually get a much wider variety of smell. So for me, on this tasting note, I smell a good bunch of citrus.
Okay.
I would say juniper forward with citrus and a back end of a little bit of spice. I'm not sure what that spice is. Maybe when I taste it, I'll have a better idea. But yeah. So I'm gonna quickly write that down in my little gin diary. So I'm gonna say
cool.
juniper forward with citrus notes, probably a few different types of citrus. I don't smell just one. And a hint of spice. So sometimes I can smell a little bit more specifically what they are. In this case, I can't. So I'm just kind of putting the overall smells that I have. But when I taste it, maybe I'll get a better idea of what's in there. The thing is sometimes about gins from other parts of the world is they're using local botanicals. Those aren't necessarily botanicals that you're going to find in Miami or in the United States. So it could be that they're using a citrus from a plant or a fruit that I don't even know, that I've never even had before. And so that's the cool thing about gin, because everywhere you get around the world, they're often using local botanicals that you really can't find in other parts of the world. So let's give it a little taste.
And that's from Norway, the Norwegian.
So I let it sit in the front of my tongue a little bit. So when you let it sit on the front of the tongue a little bit, again, it brings a flavor out of all the flavors in there. And so you have a much easier way between the smell through the mouth and the taste on the tip of your tongue. So I usually put my head down a little bit, let it go to the front of my mouth, and let it sit on the front of my tongue. Interestingly enough, I actually had a nice fruit flavor. And it's almost like, it's not heavy, but I definitely taste a little bit of blueberry in this. So I definitely didn't smell the fruitiness. But I definitely have this juniper blueberry front, and then let me get the back for you.
Now, man, I'm super curious to learn the difference between front and back. What does that mean?
So front is what it tastes like in the beginning. The back is when you're swallowing it. Often the taste changes, or it ends with a different flavor than when it starts with. Okay. And so how the gin tastes in the beginning can vary as it goes down, which is cool. It makes gin very intricate and very unique. And a lot of people don't like gin because they're so used to that one London dry gin. And I actually hated gin because they always served it with tonic. Turns out I hated tonic, not gin. So I do still taste citrus. It does have a little bit of spice at the end. I don't know what that spice is. It's not a super common spice that I taste in gin. It doesn't taste like cardamom or some of the more common spices. Maybe it tastes kind of rooty. Could be a root of sorts in there. But yeah, so my taste would be juniper, blueberry, splash of citrus, and then a little end of spice.
Okay.
And that blueberry could be another type of fruit, but that's just the flavor that I got. Again, it could be a Norwegian fruit. It could be Langenberry for all I know, which
Ooh,
can't even get here.
yeah. Let me see what kind of fruits are in Norway.
I'm gonna put berry. I'm just gonna put berry flavor. Blueberry question mark.
Norwegian fruits.
So the flavor is actually excellent. The smell is, the scent is not the best smell I've ever had for a gin, but it's not bad. It's not overpowering from an alcohol standpoint. And slight spice at the end, maybe a root of sorts. So if I were to rate this and give it one more taste, very clean, very crisp, complex amount of flavors in there, but it's still a very good gin. Honestly, I'm going to give this like an 8.1. It's like a really good score. I really like it, honestly. I really like it. And
81 out
I
of
did bring
100.
an ice cube. So the other thing is actually gin's supposed to be served a little bit cold, because when you serve it cold, it actually brings the flavors out a little bit more. But I like to try them all since all of these are done without having any ice in them. I don't like to I want them all to be even, so I taste them all without ice.
Do you ever use like the like whiskey stones or the marble or the like the
Yeah,
steel?
sometimes. Yep, sometimes. But I don't mind gin having a little bit of water in it. It
Okay,
it can accentuate the flavor a little bit. Anyway, didn't mean to get so deep into the weeds
that's cool, man.
on the gin tasting, but I was like, I want to try one of these Norway gins that my wife got me from a couple of years ago when we were dating, and yeah, it's nice, very nice. Thank you,
Well,
Brenda.
that's good. That's good. And yeah, definitely shout out to Brenda. But like, there's a lot of people over here. Like, we've got Smooth Brain saying that he loves the fucking booze breakdown, bro. So we've had a few more people join. So this is good. We've got Mr. Moondog saying love and light to you too, Mr. Moondog. Glad to see you in here, Mr. Gabriel Vlacides. Shout out to Gabriel, another good real life friend of mine. Fucking love you, bro. And I can't wait till I get to see you next. I don't know where in the world you are right now, but I am stoked for our next hangout. Uh, Mr. Smoothbrain again says, I like to draw the air through a mouthful of scotch, etc., to open it. I don't know exactly what does this mean, Brendan? What is he talking about here?
I believe he means he just likes to drink scotch.
Ah, okay. So it's kind of like like how people draw smoke through smoke through water inside of a glass container. Some folks would call it a bong or something like that. Similar
I,
is
no, I think he's just saying that as he drinks a scotch, air also goes in, and so that's how he likes to open it up by
ah.
taking a mouthful of scotch.
Excellent, excellent. We're also joined by Mr. B. Yachten. Also, hello, degenning is paying back in
Ooh,
crypto.
baby.
Yes, sir. That's what we're gonna talk about once we start getting a little bit more serious inside this episode. But hey, we got some more chats to do. We're also joined by Miss Tam Tam. Miss Tam Tam says, "Hello, my lovelies. Hello to you too, Tam Tam. Shout out to you. Glad to see you. Number one pulse chain Hexaco cheerleader in the space. Frickin' love it. Freaking love it. We're going to have a great night tonight. It's going to be awesome. We're also joined by Mr. OBX Sreeper. I'm not sure what OBX Sreeper is, but it's good to see you, broski. I'm glad that we have you with us tonight. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about some fun things in between, taking some drinks, doing some shots, wearing some pulse chain hats, wearing some fuzzy knit hats. Today is a whiskey, fun hats, and a Ethereum day, so it's gonna be a good time. It's a totally different indulgence, is what Mr. Smoothbrain is saying. So,
Which is okay, to each their own.
yep. Hey, there you go, broski.
I
We
don't mind
freaking
it.
love to
I
see
wouldn't
it.
mind a cigar right now. I wouldn't mind be toking on a cigar, but
Oh, motherfucker! I
not in
meant
the
to grab
house.
cigars on my way over to my shipping container. I don't have any with me either. Damn. What a pity. What a pity. We're just gonna have to do. Man, it could have been freaking crazy. Ooh, Outer Banks Reaper or a Carolina Reaper. That's what he's.
Ooh.
Oh, shout out to the Outer Banks. Shout out to all of my North Carolina baby dolls. I freaking love it over in North Carolina. I would like to go visit again here in the near future, but the Outer Banks is a great time. I don't know if I ever told you guys this on stream, but there was one time I got stranded on Ocracoke Island, which is one of the Outer Banks over in North Carolina, because you can only get there by ferry, and the ferries only run during certain hours of the daytime. And I took a ferry to one side of the island, and it happened to be the last ferry like both of them, and so I was stranded on Ocracoke Island for like the whole fucking night trying to get back to base when I was stationed over in Jacksonville. It was freaking ridiculous. But shout out to everyone over in North Carolina. We freaking oh man, those Carolina Reaper peppers is probably what he's talking about. Okay, so OBX, Outer Banks Reaper, and Carolina Reaper. Freaking love to see it, broski. Sub like it hot. Absolutely, Mr. Smoothbrain. That's freaking crazy. OBX Reaper. Good to see you, broski. Welcome to the stream. I'm over in Texas right now. I would love to make it back over to North Carolina. I freaking love it over there. That's
So,
freaking crazy.
Mr. Will, I think this comment's a good segue.
Yes. Shout out to Mr. Moonmutt. Let's go Ethereum. Hey, Brendan, we've talked before a couple times about the strategic Ethereum reserve and how people are doing all this buying of Ethereum, much like Michael Saylor is buying his little Bitcoin for. I say Michael Saylor, but really it's the company's strategy. They're buying Bitcoin and then they're leveraging the fact that they've bought Bitcoin to get other people to buy their stock so that they can then use it to buy more Bitcoin, and just going in this infinite recursive loop of money printing, which definitely won't fail ever. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But there's a whole bunch of people that are doing it with Ethereum as well, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a scriggity screen share here because we've got a new big dog on the top. But Mr. Brennan, I want to toss it over to you to break the news to the folks at home. We've got a big dog on top in the Ethereum world. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Ooh, yes, let's talk about it. We
Yeah.
actually had a little video this past weekend in regards to Sharp Link Gaming, SBET, if you want to know their ticker. And this is interesting. So the person that runs Sharp Link Gaming is also one of the founders of Ethereum, which is very cool. I don't think everybody knew that when we were having the show on Sunday, but
I know I didn't. That was news to me.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. His name is Joseph Lubin, and they've been buying ETH, and they were saying, we want to essentially adopt the Michael Saylor strategy and use it for Sharp Link Gaming and ETH. And honestly, I think it was like the perfect timing. Sub 3,000 ETH, and alt season not even starting yet, and they're starting to just pump funds into it. So do you have the Ethereum Strategic Reserve website by chance?
I do have it pulled up. I'm ready to present it.
So I want a little a cheers or something. The Ethereum Foundation is no longer the corporate entity that holds the most Ethereum. It is now none other than Sharp Link Gaming.
Hey, these guys look pretty motherfucking familiar. We've been talking about these dudes. When did we first start with this, Brendan? This
Over
was
a month ago. I mean, maybe a month ago or so. Maybe maybe 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago.
Gotta be over a month ago, man.
Because we talked about it before they had even put a penny into Ethereum. We'd only talked about what their strategy was going to be, and now their strategy is coming to fruition. And by the way, look at their total P&L plus 222 million.
This is fucking nuts, man. At today's prices, so they've got just shy of $1 billion, and their P&L is like a quarter of that. So like they're sitting on a fucking 25%, like 25% nice cushy soft just straight up profits. Like that's freaking nuts.
And there's more companies that have announced that they want to buy a lot of Ethereum since SharpLink have started to do this. So we said this on Sunday, that this is going to open sort of the marketing floodgates in a sense to get people interested in Ethereum, large corporate entities, maybe governments, maybe other institutional investors. And just today, I saw that Game Square Holdings, which I don't really know much about, to be honest with you, but they had a tweet at 11 a.m. this morning, Eastern time. And they said, reminder, our 100 million Ethereum treasury strategy conference call starts in 1 hour. So their plan is to buy $100 million worth of ETH and I don't even know if they're on there at all. I think they bought 5
Yep.
million, so they might be
They're
down
right
at the
here.
bottom. Yeah, so they had
They've got,
originally put in 5 million.
Yep. They're
So
sitting
it's
at
up to
$6 million
So
right
yeah,
now.
they're up $1 million. They're up a milli, but they've announced they're going to put another 100 million. So they're adding 100 million to their spot there.
They've
Yep,
done
see,
pretty.
they're up a milli. I know these numbers.
They're sitting at number 33. It looks like.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens when they pump 100 million and where they're going to be. They're going to be behind the Pulse Chain sack wallet. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fucking cool, man. So
Still
Pulse
behind
Chain
the
stack
Pulse Chain
funds.
sack wallet.
Everybody who sacrificed for Pulse Chain, PulseX, everything, almost all of the money was turned into Ethereum and just sits in this wallet right here. So $500 million worth of Pulse Chain sacrifice funds at 160,000 Ethereum. You've got the Ethereum Foundation sitting at 240,000, and then SharpLink Gaming a good solid clean 20,000 over the Ethereum Foundation themselves. The guys who developed and work on the coin, they have less of it than SharpLink Gaming. So that's pretty fucking cool, man. And they're up. They've over the last 30 days, they're up 60%, which is fucking absolutely nuts. So
yeah, and Ethereum touched 3,400 today, which was fantastic. It's right around there. I looked before the show. It closed at 3,474.
Yeah,
that's where ETH closed today. I was really, really hoping that it would close above the 3,400, but still a very solid close, a very solid run up. And I don't know if the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin altcoins have reached a bottom yet. But Bitcoin dominance, it could go back up. It's certainly possible, especially if Bitcoin has a rally to 150,000 or something like that. But the hope would be to have Bitcoin rally, drop sideways for a while. Altcoins catch up a bit, right? Because we haven't really had an altcoin season yet. So let's see altcoins catch up, and then Bitcoin jumps up to 150. That'd be great. Drop sideways, maybe dip down a bit. Altcoins come up higher, and man, we are coming up as to a rocket ship. And I don't know about you, but I know that Ethereum is very important for Pulse Chain because they are interconnected, not just by liquidity and not just by Hart's Law, but by the Pulse Chain sacrifice wallet. And who knows what will happen with that money? Nobody knows if it'll ever come back into the Pulse Chain ecosystem, but it is certainly a possibility. It is certainly a possibility. So we know it's happened before, right? They've had a few $10,000 buys prior. And, if Ethereum hits 7,000, then what the Pulse Chain SAC wallet bought Ethereum for, it'll be doubled in price. So they had originally bought Ethereum for $3,784. If my memory serves me correctly, I could be off by a couple of bucks. But we're also getting closer to the SAC wallet being in the even. When ETH hits 4,000, man, I think all bets are off. All bets are off. Look, already we're getting to a place where Ethereum is becoming strong. No, it's not just SharpLink. It's not just GameSquare. There's actually a couple others that had mentioned it as well. I don't have them in front of me. I don't remember them off the top of my head. But it is very cool. And actually, as of today, I was looking at the Ethereum ETF inflows. 9 straight days of positive inflows into the Ethereum ETF. So the altcoins are starting to see a little bit of action, starting to see a little bit of interest from the market, from the institutional buyers, from corporations. Come on, governments. Someone be that government with the ETH strategic reserve. We need you out there. We need our El Salvador of Ethereum. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion. I don't know when it'll be. Might never be, but I do think it's a matter of time. I do think it's going to happen. And does it excite me? Hell yeah, it excites me. I'm so bullish. On Sunday, remember Zenith and I were talking, and Zenith's like, I brought down my ETH. What he thinks ETH's going to reach this cycle. I think he said something like 7,000 to 9,000. And I'm like, I'm actually the most bullish I've ever been on ETH on the Sunday show, and that hasn't changed. I'm actually literally the most bullish I've been on ETH. And what's happened since Sunday? It's gone up almost $400. So
yeah. It was over 10% for those of you guys unaware. Like Ethereum Like going up $400, that's like a 10%, 12%, 15% swing, some shit like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about this. A week ago it was at 2,800. So
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Let's look. And Sunday would have been what, the 13th? Yeah, it was sub
Yes.
3,000. So it's up $400. So
Pretty fucking good.
So no, I mean, look, I'm not really changing my ETH targets. I'm still very bullish. I still think 9,000 to 12,000 is very likely. It could be a little less. It could be more if things go well. Like if we continue to see institutional adoption, government adoption, corporation adoptions, and then retail rate cuts, and we start to get a true alt season, like either later this year or into 2026. Look, Ethereum could hit 15,000. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibilities, and that's not even super moon math. Like that's within a range of possibilities for me. But 9 to 12, 10 to 12 is what I've actually said a long time ago when we had our perfect storm theory and we were talking about numbers of where we think things could get. This was back when Ethereum was like what, 1,800. But I'm still in the 10 to $12,000 range. I still think that's where ETH will probably end this cycle. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was 8. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 15. And again, not financial advice. It's just, an idiot that knows too much about gin talking about Ethereum.
I would say you're not an idiot, bro. You're a wise man who pays attention to things. Now, I will say that neither of us can predict the future, which is why we say not financial advice. It's like because we don't at the end of the day, we're speculators, right? We're folks that we put our money on black, we go to the roulette wheel, we give it a fucking spin, and then we're like hoping that the dealer is holding that magnet next to the black numbers or next to our winning selection or something like that. So we can't predict the future, but we can look at the past and we can see like heavy correlations and the following causations or the precipitating causations, whatever the phrase is there. We're able to look at patterns and we're able to sort of kind of extrapolate some of the likely possibilities. I want to give a shout out to Annie Oakley for writing the book Thinking in Bets, which is a very great book. We covered it on DRT Book Club. But it's one of the books that talks about like everything that you do in life. You got to think of it as some sort of percentage odd between 0 and 100. Like, what are the odds that I'm going to succeed? What are the odds of a failure? What are the odds I get the outcome I want? What are the odds that something unexpected happens? Think of everything as some sort of gamble. So what we're talking about, like Ethereum price action, and we're talking about like what is the ETH BTC ratio going to look like? What is the price of Ethereum going to look like? What is the price of Bitcoin going to look like? What's the price of Solana, et cetera, et cetera? We can sort of kind of extrapolate what we think the future is going to be based on a little bit of our knowledge of the past. So just kind of like a disclaimer for all the folks at home. We're just some fucking cool kids that are talking on the internet. Don't go spending your entire life savings based on our word alone. Get in there, learn what you're doing, understand a little bit, do some research, pay attention, go make some bad decisions so you can learn from them and then go make some good ones afterwards. But I do think that things are going to be looking pretty cool. And I'm of the personal opinion that Ethereum has been suppressed for the past year and some change. Ever since the ETF news came out and Ethereum went like, what? And then fucking plummeted straight on down into nothingness. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But you see BlackRock buying, you see Vanguard, they're starting an ETF up now. You see all these companies start to buy up Ethereum and the price remains suppressed. You see all of these massive amounts of shorts on Ethereum and everything going on. And it begs the question, like, is this token being kept at a very low price value by people marketing all the negative things about it and people focusing on the bad stuff about it, so that way big players can get themselves a nice big old bag before they finally pull all of their pull the chalks out and let it finally like take off and just totally fucking launch off into the future. That's my own personal like kind of peanut brain diamond hand theory. I don't really know what's going on, but I think that Ethereum's been sort of kind of suppressed for the last year because it's a great chain, it's a great online computer, it's a great system that you can build a whole bunch of things on, and I think it's fucking awesome. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a zealot. Maybe I'm an idiot. But that's my personal thoughts. What do you think, Brendan?
No, I mean I'm like I said, I'm super bullish on Ethereum. I mean, obviously the ecosystem I'm most bullish on this cycle is Pulse Chain. I mean, that's not a question. Richard ecosystem, but Ethereum ties into that. Like they're correlated, and I think that you could be onto something about price suppression. Look at Bitcoin when they launched ETFs, right? They're pumping all this money into it, but the price isn't going up, right? Is it because the price wasn't going up, or is it suppressed because these institutions and governments wanted to buy at a lower price? I don't know. I'm not saying that, but maybe it's the case with Ethereum because it took Bitcoin a long time, and then that starts to bump up, right? And now we're starting to get those institutional investors into Ethereum, trying to get big inflows. And again, we don't even have interest rate cuts. Imagine we get 2-3 interest rate cuts by Q1 next year, maybe 4. Maybe,
Yeah.
I'm being a little optimistic, okay? But say we get somewhere between 2 and 4 rate cuts by middle of Q1 next year, or end of Q1. Man, that could be like that could be the top of the bull market. I could certainly see that being the case. Like all these risk on assets, all this money coming into the ecosystem overall, right? The crypto ecosystem, and it just pumps it up. So yeah, I think Ethereum price could have been suppressed for a while. I also think that it just had a lot of hate. I just think a lot of people slept on it and forgot how dominant it is from just an L1 standpoint, right? Like 75% of all projects are built on Ethereum. Like almost every stablecoin is built on Ethereum. Maybe then they branch out into other platforms, other L1s, but ETH's the leader, man, and it's not going anywhere. It really isn't. And for me, in our DGen Roundtable chat, I kept saying, look, people are sleeping on ETH. It's felt a couple months ago like it was like bottom of the barrel, like people were depressed about ETH, and I was like, wait, ETH is going to blow. It is very good. It is very strong, and it is going to have a cycle. And I still believe that. Again, I've never wavered on my price predictions, and my price predictions are probably going to be somewhat wrong, because I don't really give financial advice, but nonetheless, I think that it's very strong.
I love that you say that as you put the hat on. You were fucking waiting for that, broski. I love it. # not financial advice. That's great. I wanted to ask you, bro. You had mentioned before the show that CPI numbers came out as well. That's another thing that we could potentially talk about. Do we want to stick on Ethereum for a minute, or do we want to launch into CPI?
Well, before we get to CPI, let me just say one thing about Bitcoin, because I think it's interesting. Fort Worth, which is a city in Texas,
right over there.
Do you know what they became the first city in the United States to do?
They're mining Bitcoin, aren't they? Or are they
yes,
mining?
Sirree, they're mining Bitcoin.
Ain't that fucking something? Now, I personally don't recommend it, but I'm not a city, so it's like, what do I know?
Well, think about this: if you're a city with a lot of extra power, why not put that power to work?
Yeah,
it's there anyway.
Exactly. Yeah,
either going to be
wasted. Power's doing something. All that. Like, and here's the thing that the folks at home need to understand: mining Bitcoin is not it's not economically responsible because you don't have access to cheap electricity. You don't have access to really, really great mining hardware. You got to pay a fuck ton of money to get it, and then you're competing with the rest of the Bitcoin miners for some like chance to win a random lucky number to get some Bitcoin. If you're a fucking city, and you can say, hey, the price of electricity is this because I said so, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. So like mining Bitcoin is not for the average everyday ordinary person anymore. Just like, you guys aren't going to go start up your own oil company. You're not going to start up your own like coal mining company. Probably not going to happen. You're not going to spin up some random big utility thing. You're not going to just go start up a phone service providing company. Maybe you are. But the point that I'm trying to make is this is a big operation with a very small margin of profit. And the profit fluctuates quite a bit because the price of Bitcoin fluctuates quite a lot. And the amount of electricity that's needed in order to successfully mine Bitcoin is just absolutely fucking astronomical. I don't want to say you're better off buying lottery scratcher tickets at your local gas station, but like let's be real. Mining Bitcoin is not a good way to make money. It is something that you can do, but is it the best decision? Is it the best thing for you to do with your money? I would personally prefer to go mine Hex. That's just me. I think that Hex is the better Bitcoin. I think that Pulse Chain is the better Ethereum. I would much rather be an Ethereum validator and earn, anywhere between 8 to 20% a year on like by mining and validating Pulse Chain. That's my own personal preference. Then the Bitcoin random lucky number generator and consuming just a shit ton of electricity. That's just me. But talk more about Fort Worth mining Bitcoin, Mr. Brendan.
No, I mean, so they're going to be doing it for 6 months, and I think it'll be kind of a good case study to see if it's worthwhile for other cities or other countries. We know there's some other countries are already doing it. I'm sure China and I'm sure North Korea are doing it. I know some countries in the Middle East are as well. But I'm sure there's a few others. But it's the first city, first municipality. And so I think it's interesting case study and see, like, okay, in 6 months, have they mined any Bitcoin, right? Because if they don't mine any Bitcoin, guess how long they're going to be mining Bitcoin for after that? Not very long, would be my guess. So it's interesting. One more thing I wanted to say, not just to switch back to Ethereum, but think about how bullish Ethereum is going to get when institutions and ETFs are allowed to stake Ethereum. Like, why sell when they can just stake and make money? Way more money than they make with a savings account.
You want to know something interesting, Mr. Brendan, about our good friends over at SharpLink? And I got to give a shout out to Tracker for this because he's the one that brought this to my attention. I was on a call with him earlier today, talking to him, and he had said that 97% of SharpLink's Ethereum is all staked. So they're earning 4% per year on just about $1 billion of staked Ethereum. So it's like fucking nuts, man.
He talked about it. He said that was part of their strategy. He's like, look, not only are we going to deliver our shares, buy more Ethereum, but then we're going to stake it and earn more Ethereum. And then, we're also providing even more value to our shareholders. So it's like, bro, you don't even need to have a company anymore. All you have to need to do is have a shell of a company and then buy Ethereum and stake it. I mean, not financial advice, certainly don't do that, but like, you already have an entity. And what was it? Remember what their stock was trading at before they made the announcement that they were going to buy Ethereum?
It was like $2, and then they made their announcement, shot up to 70, 35 fucking X. In like, what was it, 2 weeks, like a week? It did.
I'm actually curious. I'm curious what it is now. I haven't looked like in the last few weeks. I know it went down. I know obviously it's going to jump to 70 and go back down.
Yeah,
because it's about 37 right now. So still more than a 10x above where it was before they made the announcement.
Yeah, that's fucking
nuts,
and
probably on the way up. Probably on the way up, if I was going to guess.
Yeah, and this is TradFi. This is the Stonks world. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This is the New York Stockbroker. This is the you got to trade between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or whatever the fucking rules are. This is like TradFi. This is traditional finance. This is not cryptocurrency 24/7, all holds, no holds barred, fucking have at it, broski. This is like old boomer world. And they're doing fucking crazy good. 8% in the stock market is a really fucking good return. And the fact that these guys were able to jump up a 35x and then only drop 50%, like that's pretty damn good by anyone's reckoning. Sucks for the guys that started buying when it was up at 70, $70 per share as opposed to, the $30 that it is now. But like, absolutely fucking bonkers, man. The fact that they're able to turn essentially just money into more money that just keeps earning more money. And in the meantime, they're still doing their gaming thing. They're still doing affiliate marketing for gambling sites. They're still talking about Ethereum. They've hired on one of the Ethereum founders. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I think it was
Joseph
Joe Lubin. Yeah, Joseph Lubin, one of the guys that helped create Ethereum. He is the CEO or he is the CFO or some fucking high up dude in the SharpLink world. But like, man, incredibly bullish news, incredibly fantastic. I'm super stoked about it. I think it's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, and lastly about SharpLink, if you go to their website, and we showed this on a show, so we don't need to do it again. But if you go to their website and you go about us, it literally talks about this. This is their opening paragraph about who we are. SharpLink is one of the first NASDAQ listed companies to develop a treasury strategy centered on Ethereum, which serves as SharpLink's primary treasury reserve asset.
And there's a bunch of people that are following suit, man. Like, people are starting to hop on it, and all these dudes that are again, I gotta give a shout out to Tracker because he was the guy that brought this to my attention. But like, He's talking about a lot of traditional finance is really comfortable with Bitcoin because you can't do anything on Bitcoin. There is no Aave, there's no Curve, there's no Balancer, there's no Tornado Cash, there's no all of these other things that exist on Ethereum. But once the government starts, not even the government, once the society starts becoming comfortable with the fact that Ethereum is a virtual computer machine that lives on blockchain, that is validated and not controlled by anyone, and it's super decentralized, way more than Bitcoin is, then they're going to start seeing oh, I could make 4 to 5% a year just by staking Ethereum. Can't do that on Bitcoin. If I want to make 4 to 5% on Bitcoin, I got to buy mining hardware. I got to spend a shit ton of money on electricity. I got to do a fuck ton of marketing stuff. You can't make money on Bitcoin other than you count on the price to creep up, but there's no yield opportunities. There's no way that you can get Bitcoin, put it in a box and say, "Hey, please make more Bitcoin with this Bitcoin," unless you're sitting there buying and selling, do the trading stuff. With Ethereum, you can take 32 units of Ethereum, 32 Ether tokens. You stake them, you validate, and now congratulations, you can print more Ethereum by becoming a validator. Can't do that on Bitcoin. And so once all these traditional finance companies start getting comfortable, again, shout out to Tracker, because this is all his understanding, his ideas. Once all these TradFi companies start getting comfortable with the fact that Ethereum is doing these things, and all these other things that exist on Ethereum are not dangerous, they're not sketchy, they're just stuff that exists that anyone can use, much like a calculator, an airplane, a ruler, a hammer, whatever the hell. There's all these tools that exist. Once they start getting comfortable, then the money starts pouring in, because where Bitcoin is digital gold, it's just store of value. It doesn't do anything. There's no real practical application of gold. There's a little bit, but it essentially amounts to 10% of its entire value. With Ethereum being digital oil, Ethereum being the thing that you use to do calculations, to get things from A to B, to make X, Y, and Z happen. I think that a lot more people are going to be following SharpLink's example, and a whole lot more companies are already starting to create their Ethereum strategic reserve, like the one that you had mentioned just a little bit ago. So,
yep.
It's great, man.
And look, some people are afraid to get into crypto, but they might want some exposure to it. So how do you get exposure as an investor if you're afraid to hold the coins yourself? Well, you buy Strategy, or now you buy SharpLink Gaming, or maybe GameSquare, or whatever. So this also gives traditional stockholders, people that want to get exposure to crypto but are afraid, to do it themselves, to get into the actual market. This gives them exposure. So there's also a benefit from an investor standpoint there as well.
Yep.
So, my friend, it is 2 minutes from 9 o'clock. I'm going to change my hat. You want to change hats?
It is time to change hats. Shall we go to the big straw hats? Is that what we're thinking?
I'm thinking it's time.
It's time. All right, ladies and germs. I've actually got a screen share for this, Mr. Brendan. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, let me pull up a screen share for you guys. Brendan, are you familiar with this song right here that I've got going on?
I don't know.
Oh boy. Well, I'm quite positive that the folks at home will be able to hear the music. Let me go ahead and just do this. Can you hear this? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right, sweet. Have you got your tequila poured, good sir?
I'm about to, so I'm having a little bit of Espolón.
Espolón, excellent. I've got
celebrating a nice day on Ethereum. Celebrating a nice Ethereum pump today.
Here's to Ethereum. Here's to all of my Hispanic and Latino and Spanish gentlemen and ladies, hombres, senoras, senoritas, and cabarons. All of you guys. Cheers to you. Cheers to Ethereum. Let's fucking go.
Hello.
We're probably getting a copyright strike for that.
I don't know. That song's all over the place. I don't know,
Jarabe Tapatio,
everywhere.
The Mexican hat dance.
I have heard that song. Everybody's heard that song. I just didn't know the
everyone's
name
heard that song. They just don't necessarily know that it's called Jarabe Tapatio. But yeah, so there we go. happy Ethereum days. Happy late Cinco de Mayo. I gotta be careful and not say anything racist. Give me clipped later. happy Hispanic stuff, gentlemen. Feliz.
What?
I was gonna say, Feliz. It's not Quinceañera de Julio.
Happy birthday.
No. I was gonna say 16th of July, but I can't remember the word for July in Spanish, and I know Quinceañera is 15. It's not 16. So I don't know. Happy Ethereum. Happy today. Happy everything. En español.
Feliz
Feliz.
16 de Julio.
De Julio.
My Spanish is pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
It's pretty close. I'm gonna send I gotta send a message to Mr. Max and say, if you wanna join, bam, there we go. All right, I've sent a message to Max.
Yeah, shout out to all my friends that are either from Mexico or from Mexican descent. Good buddy Emmanuel Aguilar out in living in Seattle now. Miss that guy, but a good friend of mine, and also one of my sister's old nannies is from Mexico. Good family friend of ours. So shout out to them. And I really like Mexican food. It might be one of my favorite ethnicities for food.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. One of the things I was quite interested to learn when I went down to El Salvador is, and I don't think El Salvador counts as Mexican, but like they don't use a whole lot of cheese in Mexican cuisine, like down in Central America proper, as compared to what they do up here in America. Tex-Mex. They put cheese on everything.
Well, especially if you're doing Tex-Mex, like you're in Texas. It's literally mostly all Tex-Mex. But yes, also it depends on the region. There are some regions that do have more, use a little bit more queso, from my understanding. But since we just had a shot, I want to say I think people should join us. So throw that link in there. Ooh,
what's happening,
wait
gents?
a second.
We have a gentleman has joined us. Shout out to Mr. Max of RH Maximus Go Real DeFi. He put on the Pulse X and Pulse Chain conference yesterday. I just reached out on Twitter. Bro, I did not expect you to respond so fast. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday.
Well, technically, Bean talked to me about it already before. But yeah, you also sent me a link. Thank you for that. And I don't have my Cinco de Mayo hat. Now Bean changed this as well. So it'll out of place for a moment.
We're having a little crazy hat show. So we're randomly changing hats throughout the show.
Today is crazy hat day. Nice. What's up, Max? I see that you're wearing a hat already.
I usually do. In my hat, it's the what does it say? Does it say HODL or
HODL?
HODL, baby. Okay. Yeah. I got a couple different ones. I got a few different ones. HODL, baby. Rotation. Beautiful hats out there. But both of you gents were awesome part of the conference too. So thank you for that. Pulse X conference. Pretty fun.
Man. Yeah, man. It was a blast. Honestly, I think that you put together a really great show and you ran a tight ship. Almost every segment was on time. Almost everybody knew when they were going to start and stop. And, I know it's hard because some people don't show up and things to that extent, but I feel like most people really, stepped up and did what they said that they were going to do. And I really enjoyed it. I've been part of a couple other conferences in the past. I've spoken also in person at Cardano conferences and other things too. So it's not my first time, but Pulse Chain is my love. Pulse X, Hex, and it was a blast. And it was my first time on a debate panel, so that was interesting as well.
That was super fun. Yeah, it's something I wanted to bring because it's debate season. So we got it. And I was like, let's do a debate panel. Let's see who's interested. And I had quite a few people interested. And then, all right, you're interested. Like, what topics do we have? And all kind of just on the fly. You saw it. I was like, all right, let's just kind of let's match a couple topics here, see what we can talk about. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have like the two hours I would normally have on the show. So we did 2 debates in 30 minutes. And like I said, if you guys want to do some more debates, let me know because there's definitely plenty of strings to pull on the topics that we went through so far.
Yeah, I mean, even the topics that we covered were like hour-long topics individually, and we had 10 minutes, which is great, because you got to the meat of the conversations. But those are pretty in depth. Those could be pretty in depth conversations.
We'll be talking about EX and PX for the ends of time. I can feel it.
At least, and I think we probably will, but maybe this bull market will show us the truth or not. Who knows?
True. That's true. It could be like, you know what? Everyone's so rich, we just don't care anymore. Just buy whatever you want. Just do it. Just do it. But right now it's like, no, everything is single player game.
I mean, honestly, I've said this before, but my game plan is to not be without any of the Richard Hart core coins. So that means I want some Hex. That means I want some Hex. That means I want some Ink. That means I want some Pulse X and some Pulse Chain. And sprinkle some money around, maybe some alts too, because I appreciate a lot of the builders in the ecosystem as well. But for me, it's like I don't want to miss any of it, so I'm just gonna have a little bit of all of it.
Yeah, a million times. You want 2 scoops ice cream, 3 scoops ice cream. Which one do you want more, Pulse Chain or Pulse X? How about ice cream's good? Let's just have some ice cream.
I remember that was your analogy. You've made that a couple times. I've got a question.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Max, about conferences, because you've only started putting on these Pulse Chain and these Hex conferences relatively recently. What have you learned about doing these conferences? What's your takeaway? What's some and then my follow-up question is, what's your advice to the folks at home that want to start launching their own little conferences? Because up until now, it's basically been Matty Allen, and now you're doing it, and now there's room for other people. I know that RG3 is doing his real life conferences, and SJ as well. What do you think is the big takeaway? What are some of your favorite parts, or just give us some sauce, give us some details on your behind the scenes thoughts?
Good question. Yeah. I mean, when I first thought about doing it, I was kind of like, you know what? Like, it doesn't seem that hard as far as logistics go. You gotta, I think it makes it easier when you have a platform. You have people that I've interviewed, I've talked to people, I've had 500 streams over the past few years, and it's like I know people. People seem to like me enough to come on the show every once in a while. So it's like I already have this network of people who are probably interested in participating in such an event. So for me, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Why not do Pulse? The first one was Pulse Conference 2055, and I was like, we already have the platform. Platform is my channel, and you just need to put a schedule together and get people to participate. And it's just logistics. Then it's just an Excel spreadsheet. Literally, I just use Excel spreadsheet and Google Forms to be like, hey, you got to sign up to speak and all that stuff, or do that process. But besides that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, promotion, marketing. Again, the bigger platform you have, easier that stuff comes. I was like, there's still people who didn't know about the first one, and I was like, I don't know how else to, I feel like I'm talking about it. I'm going on other shows talking about it. This one, I even was searching around for conference websites. Like, what are all the crypto conference websites? Like, what can I get us listed on for even more people to know about it? And funny enough, I did a poll, and I've got it pinned to my profile right now. But it is, were you on board with Pulse Chain or Hex from the Pulse X conference? Quite a few people, 15%. Like I'll drop it in the chat. You guys can share it if you.
Yeah, that's a number.
If you like, but
bro. That's pretty good.
It is 15% out of 325 votes. What was the math on that? It's like 30 people or something like that. Just top of my head. I mean, there were people, apparently, if this poll is accurate, that were onboarded from that conference. And so I like those kind of things. I like to see that kind of impact as well. So, I mean, what did I learn though? I think one of the biggest things is, again, I hope to inspire more people to do this. I want us to have, if we have conferences every month or every other month, like for me or anyone else, I think that's amazing. I think, honestly, I don't know. It's work, it's logistics, but it's not hard. I think that's the biggest thing that when I first thought about it, I was like, this doesn't seem hard. And I did it. And I was like, besides moderating the whole time and doing it, pretty much all by myself, it's a lot of energy. But other than that, I mean, it's over in 2 days. I set up the time I can be available, and, maybe just getting people confirmed and hoping they show up. Maybe that's the hardest part too, but that's about it. I mean, you just gotta, if you know how to execute stuff, I feel like I'm pretty good at executing things. That's the hardest part, I guess.
I was a little guilty of not responding very readily. My apologies there. Yep, I understand. I thought I wasn't the only one.
I try to so I try to do this, make it easier too. By default, things are set. So that's what actually I did change one thing on the Pulse X conference versus the Pulse because of the feedback I got from like just self-feedback deal. In Pulse conference, I was like, if you want to do a talk, you come up with a name, you say what you want to do, all that stuff. With Pulse X, I was like, here's a list of talks that I'm looking for. Here's things I think are interesting. if you want to do a talk yourself, you totally can, but like give people a choice to like, because that's my thing. It's like content creation. So I'm trying to come up with interesting things I think people want to hear about. So I just came up with a whole bunch of different topics. Again, Bean selected one. We got Will on for the sci-fi panel, of course, on the panel portion. But it's like, tell me what you're interested in. And then from there, I can go, and put people in positions and the talks that are available and stuff like that. So that made it easier, actually. So the story of that is like, by default, make it not so people don't need to respond. The least amount of times, the most frictionless way. I'm always trying to do that too. Like, what's the easiest frictionless way to do this stuff? So I'm not just like pinging people. Oh, can you confirm? Can you do this? Can you do that? I try to minimize that with the conference too. So I learned that from the first one doing this one.
I think that's great. And honestly, I think you did a really good job. When you ask people to sign up, and we had to do the little poll or whatever on the website, you had like a list of like, okay, what are the things that you want to talk about? And you could choose 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 things. And if those things weren't already taken, or if people didn't already have those slots, then maybe you could have them. My guess was if people picked more, there's more chance that they're going to actually get to speak, because, if they choose 1 and you already have 3 people, there might not be a slot for them. So I always think it's good if people, one thing that I don't know if you did, you kind of just gave people random slots. Like, I didn't even know what time slots this was going to be. So I was like, yeah,
frictionless, baby, on me at least.
The second day, it was like 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is like right before a meeting and right after a meeting for work for me. So I was like rushing to get there, but my green screen was already set up for the night before, so that was fine. But
funny enough you say that. I've actually been planning the Hex Week, which is not really a conference. It's more just like it's an event, but not really a conference. But in that Hex Week, I've been already putting out what time, what times are you available? Because I plan on doing part of the things in the morning and part of it in the afternoon. So like those kind of things. But I try to make it as frictionless on myself and other people as well. So there's always going to be something that's going to be like, oh, this is a bad time. And there's plenty of people who didn't show up for panels and stuff the last couple of days, and that's fine too. It's like, the panels are fine as long as you show up for like the main talk. That's what. Otherwise, I have to like, okay, well, there's no other wiggle room. I got to get you. I'll try to get you in or not. But the panels, that's another key, like a secret to this is like with the panels, if you got 7 or 8 people to sign up for it and 2 people don't show up, you may have other people who are going to the conference who want to show up for it too, like Will Stevenson. Although the sci-fi panel they only had a few people on it in the first place, but like it's like one of those, the panels that make things so much easier too, and you can have that free form discussion. So anyways, the time thing though, I've thought about that not as kind of a feedback in general for the conferences until I heard it from you now, but more of that may be different in the future as well, to make it so you'll know kind of more about that, and at least in the Hex Week.
Yeah, well, I mean, overall, I think the Hex conference was the Post-Hex conference was great. I've actually heard nothing but positive feedback, and I think that all conferences have good things that come about them, but I feel like these ones have been very positively received. I think some people, just are like poo-poo conferences, but that poll that I just put in the chat that you pulled up, 15% of people, for almost 40, probably around 45 people that were onboarded during conference. I mean, that's huge. I mean, those are like active numbers of new people coming into the ecosystem. And not only that, but I always tell people, it's like, hey, it's not only what's happening now, it's also about the future. Like when Richard Hart does this massive marketing campaign and people are, okay, let me go research this. And they're like, okay, what's on YouTube? Oh, Pulse Chain Conference. What's that? Or PulseX Conference or Hex Conference. What's that? This is an opportunity for new people that want to learn to get literally all of the information about a variety of topics that I think is going to really help onboard people that are interested, right? So it's not just the people now that are watching, but it's also for potential future onboard. So I think there's 2 really important parts of it.
I haven't heard a really good argument against doing events, conferences, no matter the market conditions. Like there's what is there to lose? Like, especially I do it on, I don't have sponsors. I don't spend a lot of money on it. I do it on a shoestring budget. I just put the time, the energy, and effort that I can into it. Like, what is there to lose? Like, you're creating a ton of, and again, I love creating content. So you're creating content. I love getting the community together. Again, galvanizing the community, giving them a reason to come and talk to each other again and get them excited about the ecosystem. And yeah, you're probably going to onboard a few people as well. Like, what's the downside? I don't get it. Yeah,
It reminds me of just like a real big fucking hangout, you know? Because like there's people that every single time somebody put this really well during your conference, where it's like they get to meet a whole bunch of people that they didn't know existed. They get to see a whole bunch of people that they didn't even know. Like there's a lot of like cross pollination. And I gotta say, like I've been in the pulse chain space for maybe 3 or 4 years, and I would say I know about 20% of the content creators and 20% of the streamers. And like these conferences is how I expand my
Network.
Rolodex of pulse chain influencers, people that know things, Triplet Dad, freaking Degen Protocol. My first time ever seeing not Alex, David Feeder was in Matty Allen's Hex conference, a couple of years ago. Like all of these different conglomerate events where a whole bunch of people all get together and they all like do their thing. If Whitney Magic's got some girls in her community that don't know anything about you or me or SJ or anyone, like they get to all see like, oh, my guy's gonna talk at this time, maybe I'll watch the rest of it too, maybe I'll see what's going on this day or that day, or some of the other things, like learning about the 404 Mons, learning about Bistro, learning about the guys that are doing the validators for Pulse Chain. Like there's so many cool things that go on that most folks don't know anything about, and just seeing all this cool like little cross pollination, I think it's great, man. I think it's freaking awesome.
I think too. I mean, just hit on your point about like again meeting people and learning about different projects and stuff. The last two events, again, Hex Week will be much more focused on Hex and product building on it. But for Pulse Conference and Pulse X Conference, the Pulse Conference 2055 and Pulse X Conference 2025, they were both a ton of different topics: AI panel, longevity panel, sci-fi panel, Hex panel, Pulse Chain panel. I mean, there was like a ton of different things, as well as ecosystem stuff going on. So it's not. I don't. When I think about onboarding people of crypto too, I imagine they're interested that the community is not just a bunch of nerds who or degens who just like want to make a ton of money and no matter what, and or just want to talk about the tech and don't care about anything else. They're like, hey, real life, like they probably can make some connections there to some of the stuff we're interested in outside of that. Hopefully we'll onboard some AI people. Hopefully onboard some people. I imagine there's plenty of sci-fi people who know about Richard and the products already. They're probably already decided whether they want to get in or not. But longevity, like all this stuff, like I was at RadFest. I got to meet Aubrey for the first time in person there and hang out a little bit too. And so all this stuff is just, I think that's what's cool about it. You can come to a conference, you can look at the schedule, or you can just show up and be like, they're talking about interesting things. Let me subscribe, but let me go follow this person. Oh, who's the founder? Oh, this person, this group, and all this stuff too. So there's a lot more to it than just like even the crypto side of it.
Do you wish that you could have been more like? Because I know there's two chairs that you have to play in when you're running these conferences. You have to play the producer chair, and you also have to play a little bit of the talent chair, right? You have to do all the stuff behind the scenes. You have to click on the StreamYard. You have to share the screens. You have to do all this, that, or the other thing, right? Which is like producer mind. But then there's the talent mind, where it's like, hey, I get to actually like participate in the panels. Like during the sci-fi portion, you were on the panel with me. You were on the panel with SJ. There was a couple other ones too. Like, do you think would you like to do anything differently? Would you like to be more of the talent side? Would you like to do more of the producing side? Are you happy with the balance that you found for these conferences?
Like would I like more airtime at the conference?
Yeah, more airtime or more producer time. Either way. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I do defer to the community. Like I'm trying to think like what are the things when I'm setting up the conference that I am going for. I think one is interesting topics, things people want to know about. So that's what helps. I think with the Pulse X one, I added a bunch of topics people could choose from. Of course, the panels are kind of natural on that too. But it's good. So kind of curating the content is one, and then the other is getting as many people as I can. I mean, literally, like if we had I think Pulse Conference 2055, we had like 40 speakers or so. This one had close to 40. Plus or minus and all that too. So getting as many people in the community as can, I think I optimize towards that too. So naturally, if that happens, and I'm like literally like, okay, we have mostly lightning talks. I only got 12 hours, 13 hours to get this stuff in. I only got to do one talk, and I did that on purpose. It wasn't like I only get to talk that much, or only going to join the panel for a little bit. it was, I want to get as many people as I can. And, you know, you're going to see me most of the day anyways. I'm probably going to, you know, make a commentary on some of the speakers' topics and when I you know, introduce them, or at the end of it too. So I don't know, I defer to getting more people in more than airtime for myself, just because I think that's, I don't know, I like that better myself. Like, I don't know. And to me, if I can stream all the time, so that part doesn't matter. But the one thing I think that is interesting from this too is, oh shoot, I had this thought. I was going to talk about the, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe we'll come back, but yeah, I think I try to make it as big as possible with the time we got and the most interesting topics. And hey, if Richard tweets it, that's fine too. I literally, every time he does it, I'm like, he might do it, he might not. But yeah, it's always been fun when he puts it out there. And I literally was watching it and said, oh, you know, 4K views, and then went to 14K. I'm like, I know what happened. Let me check his X. So that was pretty fun. Oh, actually, sorry, I don't remember what I was going to say. So the other thing I do a little bit different that helps kind of put things together is this isn't invite. It isn't like an invite only conference. I don't invite the speakers. I let speakers that I hope show up know about it sometimes, and even not very much of that either, or not like for everyone on that stuff too. Because I want the community. I don't want it just to fill up with people I know too. I want to meet new people, because every conference I've been meeting new people, and it's awesome too. So it's been, you know, sign up. It's been, you can get, I don't think I've rejected any talks. Some of them I need more information, because I'm like, I don't know what this is about, or I'm not quite clear on this. But most of them is, as long as we have room and I can fit in the schedule. And that's what I'm spending the most time on at the end, is like, gosh, I gotta cut this, I gotta trim this panel down, or I gotta do this, you know, trim it down as far as time and stuff goes, or I gotta how am I going to fit this in? And I hope these times work for people, like that kind of thing. I spent a lot of logistics on that the last couple weeks before the conference. But just I like you got to put effort in if you want to come to the conference, because I think that gives people like kind of skin in the game too. They're going out of their way to show they have interest in doing it. And you could see at the conference, there was only, I don't know, like a fraction of the community we have, a fraction of the people that are on my show regularly, even at the conference for one reason or another. Either they got busy, or they were traveling, or they just, didn't sign up in time, or whatever it was. Access came in the last minute. I was like, all right, I only got the opening remarks. You can join. I'll start the conference a little bit early. You can come on for like 20 minutes or so. I was trying to get as many people as I can, but I like doing it like, hey, if you want to join it, you got to go apply and go through the process like everyone else. So I think that's something different. I think it brings interesting flavor and kind of gets that, everyone more excited about it too. Cause like, yeah, I signed up for it, instead of, oh, I don't know, I want to go. I got invited, but it's like, no, you got to sign up for it. Like, everyone does.
That's good, man. There's something to forcing people to put in work in order to appreciate the value of something. So like there's a ton of folks in the audience who are saying thank you. You've done fucking great. Paul Sachs, freaking Human Hex Trafficker, Hexkin Lost in Asia, Just Live. Like you've done something fantastic, broski. And I think that you're going
just getting started.
You're just getting fucking started, man. We have only just begun.
The ecosystem.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. You never know if there's going to be an ink conference. Never know.
Hey, there you go. And then maybe we could do one for every single.
Another conference that would be more challenging and especially hard because
EHEX.
You don't want to.
I thought about EX. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. It's the only one I'm like, of the core coins. If you consider it a core coin, it's like, let's just do Hex conference.
We should do a Hex proof of work conference.
four core coins. EHEX is not one of them.
I've heard different opinions on that, but yes, I mean, people put most in there too. Is most a core coin? I've heard that one. That's another popular one. But most. It's like we don't even know if he even made it, but like, anyways, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, look, I could also see if people don't think ink is a core coin, like fine, but at one point, Richard Hart did say ink was his favorite meme token. He did say that before launch, so I remember that. I watched that video.
Oh yeah, he said he doesn't care about the incentive token, but also it's his favorite meme coin. So there's two different things over a long period of time that happened with Richard. He changed his mind when facts change sometimes, I guess, too.
But I would say the three major ones are Hex, Pulse, and PulseX. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm still have a lot of EHEX. I got all my stakes. It's it was what got me into the ecosystem. So there's still like my love there. But Pulse Chain was made to make Hex better. So I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
is definitely made the community bigger. I'll say that. Hopefully more powerful. We gotta be more powerful. Gotta get that power up.
Yeah. Anyway, Max, I know it's been 20 minutes. We don't want to keep you. Honestly, we really appreciate you hopping out outside of your
Thank
normal
you.
streaming hours.
Thanks for the invite. Yeah.
Keep up the great work. Stay in touch. Anything that we can do to assist you or to support you at the DGen Roundtable, let us know. We'd love to be there to support. So.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Yes. Thanks for, again, I've got a lot of thanks for the conferences. I appreciate it all out there. I'm trying to let it soak in a little bit. Also clipping a lot of this stuff, trying to get the content out, and again, working on the next one. So it should be fun. But
all right, brother.
I
will let
thanks
you
for
know
having
about
me on.
friends. Hopefully,
Thanks
hopefully I can join.
Thanks for being here, Max. Mr. Paul Sachs, hello
Sounds
to
good.
you. Say
See
goodbye
you,
to
Paul.
Max. He's on his way out. It's been great having you, Max.
What's
Thank you.
going on, boys?
Hey, good to
Hey,
see you,
Max.
Paul. I like
Cheers.
the pool. Looking good.
Thank
Looking
you.
good, guys. Yeah. Have a good one.
He's got like 4K video.
Adios, amigo.
He's got better video in his pool than I have in my home.
What's up, Mr. Paul Sachs? Welcome
What's up,
to
boys?
the stream. Sun's out, buns out, baby.
We need
I
a
like
little
it.
cheers. You drinking something a little
little neutral, little Michelob, yeah. A little neutral,
cheers.
Michelob. Cheers. How are
Slencho,
y'all,
amigo.
boys?
Nazdrovya. Excellent.
Great.
We're doing
Great,
fantastic.
man.
It looks
Honestly,
like you're
having a
doing
blast.
pretty
We're just
damn
having
good
a great
too.
time talking about crypto and.
Hey, you rushed to get the lawn mowing done so you can jump in the pool, right? That's why you get one.
Yeah. Oh, that is
We replaced all of our lawn with fake grass. Granted, we're in Miami and there's like 2 feet of lawn, but
I was gonna say the lawn's more expensive to mow it than it is just to not have it.
Yeah.
What a luxury.
I was talking to this because I spent all day today lawn mowing my my friend's lawn and he's got 20 acres, and so it's like you've got basically what amounts to trash that you have to go and you have to like run diesel, run gasoline, run maintenance on a lawnmower to go and cut down this trash, and then it grows back in a motherfucking week again, and you just have to spend so many man hours doing this stuff. Like people don't think, you know, grass is kind of a luxury, people that had
It
grass
gets
back in
really
the day.
expensive.
Yeah, it's like, why do I have grass? What the fuck is the point of this shit? I might as well just go get some asphalt, have to deal with it one time, or like go get some gravel, spread it out all over my lawn, have a nice big gravel parking lot or whatever, like grass is nice, grass is fun, it's nice, but it's like, bro, it's so much maintenance,
Oh,
I
for
guess
sure.
that's the price of being an adult, right?
It looks nice for about 24 hours, and then
Yeah.
it's like just crap again. Yeah, I mowed on Friday. I think it was Friday or Saturday, and I already had to mow again because we still have spring going on.
Yep.
Where I'm at,
It's
it is
fucking nuts, man.
absolutely raining 1 inch to 2 inches every week still, and sometimes it'll rain that in a day. Right now,
Dude, yeah, screw
crazy.
that, bro. Screw that.
No.
I
Yep.
have never once mowed my lawn up in New Hampshire. It gets snowed on. It grows during the summer. I have no idea what's going on with it right now. If I go home, it'll probably be a jungle or something. But like, I have never once touched that stuff.
You must
I'm kind
live
of
in the country.
well, I mean, that's my house in New Hampshire. It is off in the sticks, off in the boonies, right up next to where like Canada meets Vermont, meets New Hampshire. It's in like that little tri-state area, and like I almost never go over there. It's just a freaking a house collecting dust. So if anyone lives up in New Hampshire and you want to come hang out, fucking let me know and I'll tell you where the keys are to my house and fucking go party, go have fun or whatever. Maybe I'll swing
You
up
live
there.
that far north. You guys trade goods that you like. You good maple syrup from their side. You trade them bullets or good beer.
Yeah.
Is that what you exchange
There
up
was
there?
there was a lot of egg stands on the side of the highway where it's literally just like a shack with eggs in it, and then like a little ammo can where people just put money, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll take the eggs, I'll put the money. And people are very what's the word, they're very private, very confidential, but they're also very like helpful and and thoughtful and stuff. It's not like, the happy joyful people of the South. They're much more serious, they're much more sober, but everyone's like willing to help people out up there, and it's very bartery. I quite like it up there in New Hampshire. It is the free state, the freest state in the states.
Yeah, I wish Missouri was the friendly state that it used to be like 30 years ago. It's not. People just become bitter around here. It's not like when you go to Texas or you go down south where people hold the door at the gas station for you just randomly because
Dude, there was was it last year that the Brood X cicadas were like all over Missouri. I know I went up there to do some training for climbing, and I was living with my buddy over
Can
in
you hear him in the
Columbia.
background right now?
Oh no, I can't hear him in the background. But I know that
Yeah.
like a year ago they were just covering every fucking surface, man. You like walk outside on the sidewalk and you can't take 2 steps without like crunching on at least 20 or 30 dead cicadas. You know, it was fucking nuts, man. Absolutely
Did they have
crazy.
giant wings or did they have green wings?
They were as I remember, they were oh shoot.
They look
I
like my
remember
glasses. Color of my
they were
glasses.
little no, they were brown. They were not green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like a cicada. Yeah, no, there's beetles called Japanese beetles that are the same color as my glasses, and they about the end of July they come out of I don't know where they come from, but they're everywhere. They literally just fly into your car's headlights at night. If you try to, you're like, all right, I'm tired. I got a ton of Japanese flying beetles. You put the traps out, you'll pull them from so many miles away. You'll be emptying like a 5-gallon trash bag every night of
Holy
stinky,
smokes.
nasty Japanese flying. Yeah, it's crazy. They just disappear after a couple weeks, so it's just kind of
Man.
one of the joys of Missouri. You just live with it.
I know in Florida they got the love bugs. They got the June bug, or was that what they're called, Brendan? The love bugs down there, the bugs that like they attach to each other and they fly around for like a week or something, all mated up and whatnot. I remember when I lived in Titusville, there was a ton of love bugs down there in like the Orlando area. But
Paul, did I tell you my sisters live in St. Louis?
Nope.
Now you know.
Awesome. So you're down there much? Or I was gonna say if you ever want to travel a little bit, I'm not exactly close to St. Louis, but it's a quick shot from there.
Next time I'm there, I will let you know, and we'll maybe we can link up.
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
I might be there. I might be there for Christmas. I don't know if you'll be around then, but
St. Louis is a fun time, man.
Yeah, no, St. Louis is a good time. Down by the boardwalk, or sorry, down by the stadium.
Down by the boardwalk.
I would highly suggest if people are going to St. Louis, they go to 2 places. One, go to City Museum because it's like a fucking playground for adults. It's one of like the coolest things. And 2, go to the St. Louis post office. That place is like phenomenally beautiful. It's like one of the coolest like old marble, big huge columns, gigantic brass stuff everywhere. Like the St. Louis post office, man, is freaking cool. And also, of course, the archway is pretty nifty. But
fun fact.
Also, the zoos in the museum are free in St. Louis. All the zoos, the museums, aquariums, doesn't cost anything to go.
Oh, the aquarium too.
That.
Yes,
I've never been to them.
Yeah, they're free. It's
the
cool.
aquarium is great. I like the
Yeah,
aquarium.
St. Louis Zoo is one of the premier zoos in the country. It's one of the biggest ones. So.
It's really nice, honestly. Like every time I'm there, the polar bears are doing something crazy. Like they always have these animals that are actually doing things. It's like you can watch up close. It's very cool. So
yeah, I've only been to St. Louis a handful of times. Yeah, last time I was there, I was. Anyways, yeah, St. Louis, fun capital of something in America. I'm not going to say it.
Yep, there's a lot of shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans that go on over in St. Louis. One of the
You got a trifold hat on? It's invisible.
I do. This is my I have a
that's green gets cut up in his
yes. So this is it's a high vis hat topper thing that you put on like, a normal work helmet, and I folded the corners into being like a tricorn, like a freaking pirate hat. And so whenever I got my work helmets, right? This is my other work helmet. I put my little tricorn adornment on it, so that way I can be a pirate at work. This isn't the normal hat that I wear at work. It was the other one with all the bells and whistles on it. But this is just the helmet, the helmet the shade thing that I.
Yeah, I think the last thing you want to do is add any extra weight or immobility going up those damn towers.
Yeah, man, I've had to take this thing off before because it pissed me off because I'll like turn my head and then I'll hit this damn little tricorn thing against like a part of the tower, and it's like, man, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. I'm gonna just deal without not having shit. In fact, I'm gonna take it off right now because it's making me angry. But yeah, there's plenty of cool hats that we wear in the tower industry. Lots of high vis stuff, lots of pirate hats, lots of fun helmets and things.
You guys ever ask why? Like, if you need to be seen by something coming at you high vis, that's like the least of your worries. Like, you're in trouble if a plane, a helicopter, or something smokes the tower while you're up there.
Oh no, I do it so that like we can be identified by people on the ground. Like I wear a different high vis than my buddy, so that way like my boss knows like what part of the tower I'm doing on. So if he gets on the radio on the comms, and he knows like who to call to do what. So it's more of like an identifier than a hey, watch out helicopters. Yeah, if the helicopters are coming at us, then we're fucked. So
I guess, yeah. Is it? I'm sure, yeah. I'm not even gonna ask if it's an OSHA thing. I'm sure it's an OSHA thing.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't really pay attention. I
have a question, Paul Sachs.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a price target for ETH this cycle? A range?
I'm trying to decide whether I want to stick to it or not. I seen a post on Twitter today about the liquidity, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, let me go look at my website. And at that time, it was at 1.1 billion. And 2 hours later, it was already down to 920 million. And like an hour after that, it was already down to 830 million. And I was like, oh, we're dropping liquidity this quick? Like, this is about to slingshot. It's going to blow right through my thoughts. So I want to say my original, just the fib levels is all I was going off of, 7,400 to 11, or 7,700 to 11.4, I think. So
okay. We're not.
I mean, nobody's going to be unhappy with that, but the momentum's building. We'll just say that.
Yeah. So earlier I said, actually, you know what, Moondog, how you doing, buddy? Welcome.
I was going to say, speaking of people being happy, we're joined by a
Crazy
fantastic Mr. Moondog. Aloha, Moondog.
Or hat. I thought we were doing a hot tub stream, so I came out next to the tub.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Man, I should hop in my pool.
Welcome, Mr. Moondog.
We'll make a time machine out of it.
Body of water nearby. I got a stream I could ride a Kubota over to, but you know that's a long ways away. What's up, Mr. Moondog? How are you doing? Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, amigo.
Appreciate it. Staying blessed regardless. I started looking for some headphones earlier whenever I saw you drop the link, and then I got busy doing some work. Listen to Max in the background. I do want to check. Is there a echo? Because I'm just using my laptop mic right now.
Nah, bro, you're good. You are solid.
Well, then if this works, then I won't worry about it as much on other streams, because I've kind of just skipped out on it when I gave up on looking for my headphones, because I'm still unpacking right now.
Bro, this is some quality audio, so whatever you're doing is working great. By the way, welcome to the stream. For the folks at home who don't know who you are, this is Mr. Moondog, who hops in the DGen Roundtable and the book club chats every now and again. Mr. Moondog is quite the philosophizer and the intellectual. I always like listening to what he's got to say, so it's good to put a name to the face for the folks at home who have never seen him before. So welcome to the stream, broski. How are you doing?
Boom, boom. Appreciate it. Well, Bean, you were gonna hit something before you welcome me, so.
Well, are you sipping on anything first? You sipping on anything? You don't have to be, but any sipping?
I just chugged, and it's gonna be a weird combo, but I finished my chocolate milk, and then I finished the rest of a thing of V8 that I had. So my stomach is a little bit full right now.
That sounds it. No, I was just gonna. I'll ask you the question as well. Do you have a target that you think Ethereum might hit, a range for this cycle as a high? You don't have to answer, but if you have a number, feel free to.
Yeah, nah, that's not the most interesting one to me. So I'll pass it to people who are
more for Will. Will doesn't make but
$69.
I've been saying somewhere between 9 and 12 since pretty much we started this DGen Roundtable about 2 years ago, and
I remember.
I'm more bullish now. I'm still sticking to my targets, but I'm more bullish now on ETH than I was even then. I'm seeing some things.
What made you bullish? What was it? The ETF stuff, or?
Well, I've always been bullish on ETH, but I'm more bullish because ETFs for sure. We're starting to see institutional adoption, like we talked about. SharpLink Gaming, Game Square, and a lot of large companies now starting to have this strategic ETH reserve. Maybe soon the ability for the ETFs to actually stake their ETH in return, and then get a return on investment. So I think that's going to be a huge bump. So just there's a lot, and then the biggest thing is they're 75% of the builders in on layer ones, like all of the stable coins, like everything is built on ETH pretty much. So I've always been bullish, even when people were like super not. But I don't know. It seems like it's building even stronger from a foundation, like Bitcoin was, and then Bitcoin shut up. Than maybe I anticipated. So, but I'm not changing my targets. I'm just very, very bullish. So I said 10 to 12 earlier in the show. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 7,500 or 8. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a blow off the top. It was like 15. But I think 9 to 12, 10 to 12 is a pretty strong possibility for ETH. Of course, we're just making predictions here. Nothing serious.
I'm willing to agree that 9 to 12 is a pretty safe range for Ethereum. I will tell you one thing that I noticed on that list whenever I was going through it that could be argued as a bullish point, but it might be one of my least favorite things about Ethereum at the moment. But you'll notice down just past the Pulse Chain and Ethereum Foundation, et cetera, the U.S. government has about 200 million. And
yes,
it's just that whole merry-go-round and that whole politicking, that whole shark-infested waters that worries me the most about the unpredictables and the games that can be played once a asset has entered into that class of being collateralized literally by the U.S. government. Now, on the upside, government looks like this week it's doing their crypto week, and they're talking about trying to bully, since they did the Genius Act, and you have to have their permission to be an authorized issuer for stable coins. It looks like they're trying to bully their issuers into having to buy treasuries as a part of, using crypto to bail out the deficit. That's one of their ideas, kind of. So there's going to be that intermingling. I mean, crypto was built for this, but not everybody, everyone's here playing different games at different levels. So I don't know, enjoy the level in the game that you're at. If you want.
Oh no, did we lose him?
I don't know if we lost him or if he's just stuck for a minute, but Moondog, if you can hear us.
Oh, there he is.
That was my cue to bring it down and to cycle off of whatever moon rant I was out here barking at the moon.
No, I think you make a good point. I mean, I say the same thing. Anytime the United States government, BlackRock, and these large corporations that own a lot of things, once they start getting involved, it does take a little bit of the decentralized nature and like the ideal of crypto. But I would still take Bitcoin over like a CBDC, like any day of the week. Like, so if we're going to put this in levels of how bad it is it great? No, but the more crypto adoption comes, that's fine, because that means there's going to be more crypto adoption in true DeFi spaces as well, which is what I really like. And one of the reasons why I really like Pulse Chain and Pulse X is because of the decentralized nature, running on my own computer. And nobody can turn it on or off, right? Like, I really like that. But the more mainstream adoption that we get of the higher level coins, the more adoption we'll get also of these true decentralized finance.
And again, it's interesting to note, just from a relative perspective, if you look at the U.S. government's investment and then you look at the other entities that are above that level, by definition, by those metrics, those are entities that are at least competing with, control, maneuverability, idea market share, and the marketplace of ideas on Ethereum. And Pulse Chain is pretty high up there. And then you mentioned also a community gaming centered type entity that's shot there up at the top. Could you talk a little bit more about that? Because this is my first time hearing about it.
Yeah,
so the stream on Sunday.
Yeah, so Sharplink Gaming is actually an advertising company.
Okay.
They advertise for gambling and all types of different things. But
that's why gaming. I see.
Yeah. So, but the good thing about them is we've never really had a true leader of mainstream companies talking about Ethereum the way Michael Saylor talks about Bitcoin. So not only are they putting their money where their mouth is and making a ton of money, now they have the ability to market in a way that Ethereum hasn't been marketed to the mainstream yet. So I think that's super bullish. And others are following suit. We talked about GameSquare. They've pledged to add 100 million of ETH to their treasury. So there's a lot of people that are now seeing the benefit of this, and it's bullish to me. But yeah, Sharplink Gaming. I don't know if you heard earlier, but one of the guys that runs it is also one of the founders of Ethereum. So it's like, yeah,
one of the 20.
Yeah, it's ironic.
But
hey, question for you: does Ethereum? Not sorry. Does Bitcoin breaking that 11-year or 12-year trend? Does that how bullish is that for you? Because to me, I was like, oh shit, now we're breaking long trends. Like, I think the fib levels just got blown out. That was my opinion of the top. So I was like, yeah, I hope it I hope it goes above, but until it surpasses one, I was saying the top for Bitcoin be 133,000. But that was just me being completely honest. I don't think anybody actually wants 133,000 to be the top.
I mean, look, I think it's perfectly fine to be curb your bets, but personally, we kind of thought that was the case with fib levels before. So if you're just talking fib levels, you're not taking into account, the macro side of it, of the ETFs, governments, and corporations buying Bitcoin and don't look like they're ever going to sell. So previous cycles, we had these fib levels that didn't have this buy pressure previously. So there is an opportunity because of the uniqueness of this cycle for it to go higher than what we would have normally expected it without any of these other outside forces, in my opinion. What do you think? Does that make sense? Is that a possibility?
No, that it's always when you see massive long trends that break that a 12-year channel break like that to the upside, it makes you wonder what the reduction on the downside is going to be, because it's probably going to break patterns that we traditionally know true for the downside.
Well, maybe the pattern it's going to break is it's not going to go down as much because people aren't selling as much. And look, I'm only talking about Bitcoin here. I'm not talking about alts. I think Bitcoin and alts need to be looked at differently.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Bitcoin also. I don't think the downside reduction risk on alts varies as much as we all hope it will. And maybe I'm completely wrong on that. But
no, I think alts are going to stay. Maybe outside of Ethereum, I think Ethereum is kind of an outlier. It may start to take a similar play as Bitcoin. It'll still have larger swings, but it might be a bit less than the other alts. Will, what'd you bring up here?
This is a question from Mr. Smoothbrain, but while we're talking on Bitcoin, while we're talking about Ethereum, Mr. Smoothbrain asks if you care to comment, what are your thoughts on Sonic announcement tomorrow? Since we're talking about coins, since we're talking about the fundamentals and the technical analysis and everything, I figured I would bring this up. Do you guys have any thoughts on Sonic announcement? I have no idea even what it is. I have to look it up real quick.
All they did was tease that they're dropping a game-changing announcement for crypto tomorrow. We don't know what that's going to be. I don't know. I haven't dug. I do have Sonic. I'm not as bullish as some people on Sonic. I know. Sorry. I loved Phantom. I've been using Phantom for a long time. I still like Sonic. I think it's going to still do well. It just seems to me like they're moving more in the VC way. And so they have great builders and great tech, but they do seem to be moving more towards the venture capitalist route a little bit more than I would like. So that worries me a little bit. So I'm not as deep. I don't know what they're going to talk about. Could be. I hope it's a game changer. I have a lot. Most of the people that I know hold a fair amount of Sonic. So I hope it does well. I hope it does well for me as well. But I really don't have an answer to that. I don't know.
I Googled it, and the only answer that I got was that Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is being released on March 17th of 2020, or March 19th of 2027. So that's a movie. It has nothing to do with the cryptocurrency. But I know nothing about Sonic. I got no clue, bro.
If you go to Sonic Labs X, they had I did see the video. I do follow them. There was a video, and it was literally like a 3-second video. It said like game-changing announcement. Then the video is like 7/17/2025 or something.
I have here is my answer, and I'll go ahead and bring myself up full screen here. So this is what I think of Sonic's announcement for tomorrow, is that it's nothing but a big ass motherfucking campfire story. That's all that they're doing, man. Is they're getting you guys all frustrated and frazzled and dazzled about something that isn't even happening. It's like It's like if you go up to somebody and you say like, "Hey, I've got something really cool to tell you," and then they walk away, and then it's like, "Yeah, fucking okay, I'm sure you do, motherfucker. You're literally just getting me hot and bothered right now." So, as far as what do I think about it, I think that they are using a classical emotional manipulation trick that people use when they are in positions of marketing or trying to get an idea out. So, that is exactly what I think about it. So, with that being the case, I would watch out for retail traps and I would watch out for normies and, make sure that I'm not inside of that category. That's what I would do personally, Mr.
Buy
Smith.
the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Paul, it looks like you're out of the pool. You got anything to say to the people? Any last minute thoughts before you head out?
No, now's this is the rocket ship part of the environment cycle that we've all been waiting for. So I would say stake long, but I don't know if that's still a thing anymore.
Well, thank you. It's a thing. It's a motherfucking thing for me, broski. I'm all about staking
Yes,
that
sir.
Quattro Cinco whenever I'm making money. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Paul Sachs. It's been great to have you with
Always
us.
a pleasure.
Yep. You
Take care,
go
brothers. See y'all.
go on
Take
and do
it
some
easy.
great things. Adios,
Good
amigo.
seeing you, Moon Dog.
Good to see you, man. I'm gonna head out as well, you guys. I'm gonna keep looking
Alrighty.
around, listening to you guys in the
Adios.
background.
Adios,
Thanks,
Mr.
brother. Thanks for
Moondog.
hopping in. Good to see you.
Great to have you. Welcome. Alrighty, Mr. Brendan. It looks like, hang on, I gotta change. Where is the media asset? There it is. Campfire. Dose backgrounds. On that subject, Mr. Brendan, we're coming up to our 2 hour mark, and I have used all of my hats. I have consumed them all. Do you have any hats left over that you
I
wish?
do. I'll put I'll put one more hat on after this. I assume you're going to do shout outs, but I'll give you a little
Yes.
history of this. Can you read what that says?
I see that says
Percent apparel.
Percent apparel. I know what that is because I have some insider information. But Mr. Brennan, I don't want to steal your thunder away from you. I'll go ahead and say I think that you are a little bit intimate with this particular hat, are you not? Does this have something to do with your background, good sir?
Yeah, the good old days. So I used to own an apparel company with a good buddy. Shout out to my buddy Eric. Percent Apparel. We were a sub-genre clothing company where we sponsored skateboarders, rollerbladers, and bands actually. So we booked and promoted shows. We did some, mix up of skate demos and rock shows, and a lot of fun. We were on some Rockstar Mayhem fests, and it was one of the things that
most about that life. What was the funnest thing?
I wouldn't say I miss anything. I think everything that we did was a lot of fun at the time. Probably now I wouldn't want to do those things anymore.
Sure.
But nothing crazy. It's just honestly, I would say on the opposite side, what I'm most thankful for is it really gave me the ability to learn how to manage people, how to book shows, how to interact from a standpoint of contracts, and a mid-20 with not a lot of experience, being able to book shows at some pretty prestigious places in Boston. We did some fun. We had some fun, but yeah, I wouldn't say I missed anything except for the people that maybe I hung out with at the time. Missed some of my friends back then that I don't talk to as much as I would like. But other than that, I will switch to I won't say my last hat, but my last hat of the night. So
that is the finest hat. That is now that is a proper fedora, is it not? Or is that a different? Because it's got the flat brim.
I don't know if I'd call it a fedora per se, but it's close. Also, I'm not an expert on what all of the different hats are called, but this is the most expensive hat that I have. So
yes, that's my favorite Brendan hat. I've got a picture of you when we were over in Brickell, and we're up in that club, and I happened to catch you when you were looking like this, and the light was perfect against your face to make it look like ghost face almost, and it's just like a really spooky, eerie, awesome photo. But I will say that a lot of people, from my understanding, fedoras are wide brim, and then trilbies are the one that everyone thinks is a fedora. The little tiny, like very very small and smooth. It's like the neckbeard hat, but I like those ones better. Those are fucking good and juicy and saucy. Good, excellent choice for your final hats, broski. On the subject of things that are excellent choice, it's time for us to choose the excellence of the chat, motherfucking shout outs. Time to shout out all the folks at home who have joined us today. and been hanging out with us for so very long. I've got quite a few here. We're going to start off with Moondog. He says, we are not CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, etc., but then again, neither was Jeffrey Epstein. So an excellent point there, Mr. Moondog. I wonder if we weren't demonetized before, we're demonetized now. We got 91 of you guys watching out there, 73 over on Twitter, 18 over on YouTube. So shout out to all you guys. You guys get to hear it first here. If this stream doesn't show up later on when you go to look for it, now you know why. We've got Mr. Smoothbrain with his question that he gave us before about Sonic. We've already heard the thoughts on that. M-Rock Jockey has joined us, and he says what I presume to be cheers with the palm tree and the coconut drink. So it's good to see you, Mr. M-Rock Jockey. I have switched to drinking caffeine because I am pretty fucking wasted right now. So good to see you, Mr. M-Rock Jockey. Glad we could have you. We've got Nate the Great coming in. Yo, what's up, my Ethereum maxi pads? What's up to you, Mr. Nate the Great? Shout out to you, broski. I love seeing your updates over there in the fitness channel over on the DGen Roundtable. By the way, folks, if you haven't already joined the DGen Roundtable, y'all should do so. T.me/DRT join now. Become a part of our community. Even if you don't want to be a part of our community, if you want to just hang out, look at memes, chat about girls, chat about crypto, learn some stuff, talk about guns, then DRT join now. You can also scan that QR code down there at the very bottom corner of the screen. But yeah, it's good to see you, Mr. Nate the Great. Glad we could have you with us. We've also got Human Hex Trafficker. Great conference. I enjoyed it. This is, of course, in reference to Mr. RH Max's Pulse X conference that he put on Monday and Tuesday, yesterday and the day before. It was awesome. I had a great time. I still got to catch the replay gang for all of it, and I was a part of it, so it was absolutely fantastic. Mr. Hexkin Lost in Asia reminds us, or reminds Mac, big thanks for all your work. So again, shout out to RH Max. Mr. All, if I haven't shouted you out earlier in the beginning of the show, hello, degenning is paying back in crypto. Absolutely right, broski. We're always going to degen. We're going to be successful some of the time, but when we are successful, boy, howdy, does it feel good and it feel great. So good to have you with us tonight, Mr. All. We've got Mr. Just Live again saying, hey, thanks, fellas. This was again to RH Max and I presume to us as well. Thank you to Mr. Just Live. We'd like to have you here as well. Mr. Paul Sachs, let's fucking go. RH Max. Mr. Ray saying pump is a core token. You can believe whatever you like, Mr. Ray. What you consider to be core tokens, what I consider to be core tokens, who the fuck knows? But hey, if you like it, you like it. That's all you need. Mr. Just Live talking about when we were talking about mowing grass earlier. Grass is only good to smoke. I will say I've never tried smoking AstroTurf, so I have no idea how that goes down the pipe. But I imagine it's not pretty well. And then we've got Mr. Frank White finally. Bang, bang, pulse gang. Good to have you, Mr. Frank White. Glad that you are with us tonight as well. We've got Just Live 3738. Now, I presume this is in reference to... No, this can't... Is this it for Ethereum? Is Ethereum $3,700 right now?
No, he's talking about SharpLink. He was saying, yes, a bet was 25, 26 yesterday, and today it's up to 37. So big bump from yesterday.
That's beautiful. That's like almost a 50% bump right there. So shout out to SharpLink. Mr. Slide 180 says, we're not that drunk. We're not that drunk. We are not that drunk. Absolutely, broski. We're not that drunk. We're just pretending like we're sober. That's all we got. And then we got Betty coming in. What do you think of 0x Steph calling the BTC top? I will say that I don't think about it because I don't know who 0x Steph is. And I don't know what the BTC top is. And I will say, actually, you know what? I have this to say. Here's what I think about 0x Steph calling the BTC top. It's a campfire story. Everything that everyone says is a campfire story. Nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. Everyone's sitting here throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks. And, you know, occasionally people get lucky.
Every time Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, someone is going to call the top because they want to be right. I didn't see him back it up with any information. I didn't see him back it up with any charts. I didn't see him back it up with anything other than he said he called the chart, called the top in 2021, which it looks like he did. But if you're not going to give me any reason why you think it's the top, then why do I have any reason to believe you?
I would like for people to write it down and hold it accountable.
But I would also say I think it's worthwhile to take everybody's thought process into consideration. My only wish is, like, if you're going to call the top, tell me why, so that I can actually, you know, either decide if I agree with you or not agree with you. Like, just saying it's the top, it doesn't really it doesn't really give me any information.
What's the saying is that charts are the horoscopes for men, right? Or charts are the astrology for men. That's what it is. Chart reading and technical analysis, it's all astrology for men. Dude, nobody knows. Everyone can speculate why they think the top is happening. Everyone can guess, like, oh, the Bitcoin top
Now,
is this, that, and the other thing. You know, Richard Hart, I called the top on the day, and then there was a Judas candle. You know, maybe good job, bro. Like, everyone has their reasons for why they think something's right, but ultimately, like, there's too much information that is the market, that is why people decide to buy, why people decide to sell, and there's no one person that can ever know all of it. And so we just kind of go with it. We just kind of figure it out. And maybe some people are lucky. Maybe some people pick out the exact right things that work the exact time one time. But like, being able to create a pattern of calling the tops and calling the bottoms all the time simply doesn't exist until proven otherwise. That's my 2 cents. And so I just take everything personally. I take everything as, oh, this is a campfire story that I'm roasting my marshmallows over, and you know, it's nothing but a tale that we tell ourselves at night to help ourselves sleep. And it could be right, it could be wrong. Who the fuck knows?
personally, if I were to give a percentage, which I'm not going to, I would say it's a low percentage that we've hit the BTC top, based on the cycle, based on a lot of factors. Now, look, if World War III happens, all bets are off. But outside of Black Swan event, I think there's a low percentage chance that we've currently hit the top of BTC for the cycle.
I agree, and I would agree with your your end point, though. Like the reasoning, your reasoning is sound, but I think that it's not the top, simply because the odds of somebody getting it right is very low, and so I'm gonna bet against those odds almost every time, and I'm gonna be right most of the time until I'm wrong. In which case, you know, it's like whatever. I'm just gambling anyways. So I don't think it's the top, simply because I don't think that this guy is the guy that is the one to call it. And I will say the same thing every time, and then one time I'll be proven wrong. And so there you go. That's my hubris. But oh goodness, I'd muted myself. Oh, I'm unmuted now. Excellent. Mr. Brendan, time to wind down the show. Where can the folks find you, and what have you got going on in the near future?
Well, the first thing I want to do is show this weird shirt that I'm wearing, which is a mashup between Guinness and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know where this came from, but one of my favorite bartenders here in Miami, shout out to JC, he gave me this, and I find it hilarious, so I wore it tonight, since we were having a hat stream and a crazy stream and a Whiskey Wednesday. Other than that, find me on X, find me in the Telegram, find me in Miami for another month. And other than that, keep doing your research. Always listen to people that have different opinions than you do, because you're not always going to be right, nor the people that you listen to. And a lot of times we get caught up in listening to all of the people within our ecosystem or within our ethos and thought process, and we don't do enough. We don't do enough due diligence to question our own theories and question our own circles. So it's actually good to, like Betty, to take other people's thoughts, especially opposing thoughts, into consideration. But doesn't mean you have to agree with them. But certainly, you know, look at both sides of the coin.
Yep. Taking all of the information, and then, you know, come up with your own thesis, which will probably be wrong. But, you know, taking all the information and do the processing, because you going through that whole thing is how you learn how to get better, and what to pay attention to and what to ignore. So, like, you're probably, Betty, you're probably going to be wrong, but that's okay. We're all wrong. I'm wrong. Brendan's wrong. You're wrong. Everybody's wrong until, you know, BlackRock decides, you know what, time to dump the price, or until, you know, the world ends, and who the fuck knows. The only way that you know the top is if you make the top. That's to quote our good friend Richard Hart. But Brendan, the folks can find you at x.com/anonymous_bean. Anything you got going on in the near future other than hanging out in Miami for a month?
Well, I'm actually going to Key West this weekend with a lady. So, nice. Yeah, you know, we're heading out of Miami soon, and so we're like, hey, let's. We haven't got to Key West yet. We've been saying it for a couple of years, so let's go where it's not going to happen. So we're heading to Key West, and hopefully I will be back to stream, or maybe I'll stream from my phone in the car, one or the other.
Excellent. I love to hear it, broski. For the folks at home that are wondering where you guys can find me and what I've got going on in the near future, my name is Will Stevenson. You can find all of my socials based off of the Pulse Chain domains linktree will.pls.fyi. That's where all my socials can be found. You can stalk me everywhere over there. As far as things I've got going on in the near future, I'm actually going to be going to Baton Rouge, and I'm going to be hanging out over there for a little bit over in Louisiana. I've got a job over there doing some rigging and some stuff, so I'm going to hang out over in that direction. Then after Baton Rouge, believe it or not, Mr. Brendan, I'm going to be headed down to Florida. I've got a delivery I got to make over in Vero Beach, which is not terribly far from Miami. So I'll make sure to swing by and hit you up over there when
ish.
So my job in Louisiana takes about a week, so I presume 2 weeks.
All right,
something like
sweet.
that.
Definitely let me know, brother.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be
I'd
in
love to
touch.
see ya.
We'll be in touch, amigo. I'll come see you before you leave the Miami area. And then after that, I'm heading back to Dallas. Heading back to this area. Gonna do some more mowing the grass, doing some driving and deliveries, do some consigliere work, and potentially more tower work. So we'll see. That's what's going on with me personally. As far as the DGen Roundtable, let me pull myself up full screen here. You guys can find us at youtube.com/@DGen Roundtable. We are live every 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, where we talk to guests and have a good time, such as we did today. Friday, where we cover book clubs, and Sunday, where we cover the news. This Friday, the book that we are covering is going to be Chris Voss' book, Never Split the Difference. It is a book about negotiation. It is a book about how to talk to people and how to get what you want when you are discussing things with a person who doesn't want the thing that you want, and how to get the best outcome for everybody. And then on Sunday, we're going to be covering the news. So you guys will hear us here doing this very same thing again on Sunday. And that's what we've got going on. This has been a fantastic show. Mr. Brendan, thank you for joining us. Audience and folks at home, I want to thank all of you for spending your valuable time with us here on the DGen Roundtable. As Agent Jay often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you investing it right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the DGen Roundtable. Mr. Producer, that's me. Go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to DGen responsibly.